All right, I'm here at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. I'm at the Nordhavn booth, and we're going to check out their new N51. This is the first hull that actually made it out here to the public, number 2 so far. Super successful boat. They have a bunch of these things already sold, and we get to check this thing out tonight. It's really loud out here, so I'm just going to get right into the boat and start showing you guys what we're dealing with inside this thing. So we're going to step right here into the aft cockpit area, come around here, and fairly sizable space here. So tons going on here, really heavy duty cleats there. Like, these things are seriously oversized like they should be for this. And then that is just gonna be some storage access to some batteries right there. Super heavy duty door. I was here last night and I got to see a captain's opinion on that, and he let me know it's expensive and it's heavy duty, and they did a great job on battery ventilation for the house batteries down in there. And then I should just point out before we head in, really cool lighting and these grab handles here. So just really workable space around the aft of the boat, but we're gonna head on in now and into the salon area we come on this N51, and this thing looks good. You got all sorts of LED accent lighting and lighting itself going on. Got these grab handles here. They're kind of recessed up in there, but you can still grab them if you need to, if seas get rough. And then the wood finish, it actually looks really good. Usually I'm not a fan of some of the all wood finishes, but they make it work in this. It's got some modern touches in it that really make it work. So yeah, just a little seating area, really comfortable for 2 people, but you could squeeze 4 around there if you really needed to. And then as we walked in, just a couple seats hanging out on that side. They swivel, you can move them around, all sorts of good stuff there. And the window is really nice size all the way around here, so it really lets in a lot of light. The sun is setting here, so it's kind of hard to pick up on all that, but I still think it helps even as the light is waning. There is a TV that pops up out of there as well, so that's pretty cool. They've got it tucked away right now, though. In the video, I will say, it looks a little more yellow in here right now than it actually is. Everything has a bit more of a gray tone, but I guess the white balance on the camera is just going to do whatever the heck it wants to do. So the galley on this boat is actually a rather generous size, super usable. I mean, look at that. It's like almost a full-size oven and cooktop there, hanging out in the kitchen. So cool stuff. You're gonna have storage all around there. You have it all around there, and then ample freezer, refrigerator space hanging out there. And we're gonna have a couple options for where we go next. But just pop that open, and they're hiding yet another refrigerator. So tons of food storage, cold storage on this boat. Definitely important on something like this. We're gonna head down. It looks like there's a gentleman walking around up there, so we'll go down this way. Really cool, this curved space they did there on the wall. But stepping down here, we got a couple things we can look at. This is going to be the guest cabin. So split right now, but you can put those 2 together and have a single double berth, or you can have 2 singles like you have now. Gonna be the head over here. So pretty usable, plenty of room. 6'1", and I could easily fit, even have my head underneath of that shower head. So cool to see that. Pretty proper vanity there. Yep, and then your toilet lives over there. So just a simple guest cabin. TV over there, of course, and they carry the same light tones. They're a little more real to color down here. I think just the outside light coming in up there wasn't playing well with the camera. But we get to check out some cool stuff in just a second. There is a day head hiding behind that door, so that's cool to see that. So you don't have to go into the ensuite head of that one if you have some guests on board for the day, as the name would suggest. But yeah, not too much to say about that. You get some linen storage in there and other compartments as well, but just a nifty little feature hidden away. And now we're going to get into the meat and potato of these boats, if you will. These things are known for their range, their performance, all that good stuff, and all that magic happens down here in the engine room. So there's a lot to cover. We're going to cover the creature comforts first. You have a washer and a dryer, on either side as you come in here. So you don't have to share one unit. You have proper 2 units. You can actually stand right when you come in, so that's nice. My camera is never going to show it, but this goes way up. I can stand there if I needed to. And then as we come in here, I want to point out a couple things. So you have your ABT track stabilizers. You can access the stuff from them so easily right there. Just really well thought out. If you flip around the other way, it's going to be mirrored on that side as well. I was actually hanging out down here last night for a short period of time with a project manager on this boat, and we were just kind of geeking out over everything down here. He obviously had a lot that went into this. So one thing he mentioned, so you got these sub-electrical panels on either side. So the main panel upstairs is going to be rather simplified, just really user-friendly for the first-time owner of this size of boat. Is really something they were wanting to appeal to. So a couple more things to point out down here. Of course, twin engines, great, grand, awesome. They're rather small, if you'll notice, for this size of boat. These are not made for speed, they're made for range. This thing cruises at about 6 knots and will get about 2,500 to 3,000 miles out of that, so that's extremely impressive. Your generator, genset, that's going to be hiding right there. And I should mention the top speed is a blazing 11, maybe 12 knots if you're lucky with this thing. So you do have some exhaust fans on both sides there, and a couple more hanging out down here. You can have them both exhausting out. If you're taking on spray from the side, you actually can come up here, and these blower switches, you can have them so you're pushing and pulling one side to the other, so you're not just sucking in a bunch of salt water on the one side. Fuel transfer pump controls are up there as well. Just all sorts of stuff. You can see there, camera, hey, hi, how's it going? So just keep an eye down here from up at the screens on the helm. You got your fuel water separators there, other filtration there, all that good stuff. And you're going to have that on both sides there. One thing I should point out with the fuel tanks that's actually really cool, something new they've been offering on this boat. I also haven't seen it on any other brand that I can think of right now. We'll take a look here. That guy there, that's an external fuel gauge, believe it or not. So you don't actually have to have a sight glass there. I guess there's a little magnetic ball or something is what he was explaining to me, how that reads there. So that is really cool. It's so minor, but it's a really thought out feature there. So just wanted to point that out before we head on out of here. I could spend all night down here in this engine room. Like I said, I was kind of geeking out with the project manager on this boat last night. But we'll put a close to that and literally close that door behind us. We'll just head on up here. Kind of get a good view of the lights again. That's cool. I'm always a fan of LED accent lighting. It looks good. But we'll go this way and come right up to the pilot house. So down here, super simple, looks like pretty much any other boat of this size that you're used to. Oh look, there's that camera that I was looking at down there. Anyways, I mean, it's just got the bow thruster there, twin throttles there, a steering wheel, and just some other minor stuff going on down there in the dual Garmin displays. So it doesn't have to be complicated. But if you want to look up there at some analog gauges, they do have all that going on up there, so you can watch your engine stuff up there if you didn't want to have any of the displays down on the screen there. I'm going to step up here the best I can and just give us a peek out there. So it's honestly a great view. This helm is the furthest thing forward on the main level of the boat, so it just gives you great visibility out the bow. And they got a little surprise hiding up there that's not something you've seen on a Nordhavn before, especially one of this size, so we're going to look at that momentarily. But just taking a look around here, and yeah, you do get a little bunk up there. I guess if you wanted to have a captain, you could be like, hey man, sleep up there. But a little seating area there as well. But we're going to come around here. I mentioned the sub panels down below. That is the main panel up here. Like I said, they keep it really stupid simple, for a lack of better terms. Like, I don't know, what is there, a dozen switches on that? That's it. So nothing crazy up here. A lot of it, like I said, is on those sub panels down below. But of course, side door there gets you out on that side and gets you out on that side as well. I could go way in depth on those, but I'll save that for anybody who wants to come out and check one of these out in person. They got some really cool features that Garmin's offering that they've put on this boat. And I should note that this is actually the standard package that comes with this boat. You don't have to option out all this stuff. You don't just get one little dinky screen in the middle. No, that's what you get. So there's a lot of value built into that setup that they've got there at the helm. But we're gonna keep on working our way. You know, we're gonna go outside before it gets terribly dark out and I'm not even able to show you anything. Way too loud out that side. Somebody's having a party at one of the other booths, so we're just gonna work around that. Yep, and they're filling the boat with water and I stepped right in it because it's overflowing. But yeah, so I mentioned a little surprise they had up here. They actually put this little bench seat that you see like on a lot of pleasure vessels up here. Nordhavn has not done this typically, so this is something new to them, especially this size in their range. Really cool to see that. And of course, you're gonna get your working area up there on the front of the boat with your windlass and your anchor and your lockers for the rode, the chain down in there. But we'll just take a peek up this boat real quick. The camera wants to play nice there. There you go. That's a light, of course, searchlight, and then FLIBS, of course, is up there, and we're gonna go check that out momentarily here. But just wanted to point this out before we head back over to the other side. Super high and sturdy freaking sides here, man. Like, confidence inspiring. Even down there, that's about almost waist high. That was Drew. That was the project manager. I think he was coming to check, hopefully on the... You can come up here. You got some water spilling out.
We forgot we had the water.
Yeah, I found that quickly when I stepped out the door. I'm like, oh. But anyways, I might cut that out later. That was a funny bit in any case. So yeah, they were just filling some fresh water on the boat and it overflowed. But hey, boats are meant to get wet. But yeah, so here's the side deck I was mentioning. Yeah, this is still more than knee high and these are super sturdy. So just confidence inspiring, safe, secure while you're working around the boat. But I'm gonna walk around instead of trampling through there with my wet socks, hopefully give them some time to dry out here.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. This is funny, actually. But yeah, we'll just move on through here and step right back through there. It's a little drier this time, but that's cool. They got those little LED accent lights going up there. Very good. But we're gonna work our way up to the FLIBS here momentarily. You do get a nice deck for storage here. They've got a tender optioned out here right now. Of course, that's your crane to get it down. But yeah, and you even got a lifeboat in that case over there. But this is actually really cool. Want to point this out. If I can figure it out. There we go. Do the other one. There we go. So, took me a second, a little hard one-handed, but you get a ton of storage in there. Like, that thing's cavernous. I don't know if the camera picks it up all that well. I wish I had a banana for scale, but that thing's about 2 by 2 deep and high and 4 or 5 feet long. So, latch that back up. Got more of that LED accent lighting going up there. And here are the FLIBS. It's pretty noisy up here thanks to the partying going on. We got a violinist over there. So up in this area, you do get some seating around there. You can pretty comfortably fit 4 people around there, squeeze in a 5th if you wanted to. There's the helm, of course. Pretty simple, bare bones. What you see is what you get, and that's about all you need to operate this boat. You get your bare necessities up here. You get your twin throttles. You get the bow thruster. You do still get a single large Garmin display and some other engine information there. And then hiding underneath of the seats, for example, I'm not going to get into it, but there's just going to be some storage, wet storage, cooler storage space if you really want to use it that way. But I should note, and this is definitely an item of concern for a lot of people that might be looking at this boat, what is the air draft? What is the bridge clearance? The project manager said that is one of the first 3 questions he's always getting about this boat. And the answer is yes, you can do the Great Loop in this boat. This radar arch here is actually hinged. You can see up close the hinge there. So with that radar arch folded down, it gets the bridge clearance to right about 19 feet. So that gives you the clearance you need to get through Chicago on the Great Loop, where you're restricted on height. I want to say 19 feet 6 inches. So they made sure they give you room to spare there. And I'm sure that's something a lot of people want to know about this boat. But we're gonna head back on down in here, and I think it leaves us with the owner's cabin to the bow area to check out. So we'll step right back in here, come around behind that helm, and go down these stairs. And that brings us to the owner's cabin here in the front. Immediately to the left, we're greeted by the head. Proper, of course, wet over there, dry on this side. The floor does recess down a little bit in there, so it gives you a little bit more headroom in that shower. And then, yeah, kind of what you see is what you get in there. I should mention a little bit of linen storage there, your vanity, all that good stuff. But tons of storage all around this owner's cabin. For example, a little bit of hanging storage there. That light was really poorly placed as far as my camera is concerned. You do get a little TV there, and you just get space all around here. Drawers, lockers, closets, that kind of stuff. And they even incorporated, it's hard to see now, but those are windows that would let in a lot of natural light during the day. It looked great. I saw daylight yesterday, and it was cool. Really cool. Just got to take my word for it there. And of course, there is storage below the bed as well. So you just want to maximize the space for that on this type of boat. So we are going to head back on up here, and we'll just take a seat as long as nobody's back here. Yeah, we'll just hang out in the salon and finish up this video. So that was the new Nordhavn N51 here at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, making its debut. Really cool, capable boat. Definitely some modern touches that they've brought to this boat. User convenience, that kind of stuff, along with all the stuff you're typically used to on these boats with the range, endurance, just quality. And of course, the ability not to break when you use one of these things for like a year straight on the Great Loop or something, or getting crazy and crossing an ocean, you know. But they can do that if you want to get really crazy, I guess. But if you want to come check one of these out in person, I urge you to get a hold of our friends over here at Nordhavn. They'd be happy to get you out to a boat show or find some other way to find you one of these boats to check them out. The N51, yeah, that's correct. Fairly scarce right now since this is only haul number 2, but they've got 17 or 18 of them at least on order before the show, probably more now. But I'm going to wrap it up. That's all I got for now. Thanks for watching.